Hi there, Sandra Crow, registered holistic nutritionist. Today I'm kind of feeling like something a little crunchy, a little bit salty, and I'm gonna make something delicious, but that's also really good for me and I can eat the whole bowl and know that it's giving my body nutrients, fiber, and antioxidants. Kale chips. A lot of people love kale chips, and a client the other day asked me, well, where do you buy yours? And I looked at her a little bit stunned and said, buy them? Oh, it never occurred to me to buy them. They do sell them, but they're about $5 for a tiny little bag. I bought this whole thing of nice organic kale for $3, and I'm gonna make a bunch of it that my kids can eat and I can eat as well. Making kale chips is honestly super easy. You can have them in the oven in about 2 minutes. That's all it takes. All we do is wash the kale, dry the kale, massage the kale. Yes, the kale does get a little massage before it turns into chips, and put it on a baking sheet for about 15 minutes. So let's get started working on it. The easiest way to rib our kale, and ribbing means taking off this thick rib here because we don't want to eat it, is just to grab a hold at the bottom and just pull along the rib. So I end up getting what we're going to have for our kale chips. It's a lot, you can cut it, but this is just a lot of an easier way to do it. I live on a ravine, so I usually end up throwing these ribs out into the ravine. I figure some animal out there is going to enjoy it. You're going to just grab a hold, pull it apart into whatever size chips you want. You're going to wash your kale, dry your kale, get it ready for its massage. So just like we like to get a massage and break down our tough muscle fibers, kale does too, right? It's a very fibrous vegetable, which is great because we're going to be eating chips but getting fiber. But if we can already have that pre-digestion of the fiber started, we'll actually be able to absorb it and utilize it better. And don't forget that fiber is also full of prebiotics. So prebiotics are the food that the good bacteria inside of you need to eat. So when you're taking a probiotic supplement, if you're not feeding it lots of fiber and lots of nutrients, they actually have nothing to eat, and you're almost wasting your money with that probiotic. The more fiber you have, the better they survive in there. So we're going to add some olive oil to our kale. This is going to help it crisp up, and this also helps with its massage. So that was maybe a whole head of kale, and I added, I'm not measuring, maybe about 3 tablespoons. You can use all kinds of different seasonings. Today I'm going to use some Tex-Mex seasoning, and I'm going to use some garlic salt. So sometimes people are surprised when I suggest the use of salt, but don't forget that I work out a lot. I cycle a lot, and when we're doing cardiovascular exercise and sweating, we actually lose sodium. Did you know that an endurance athlete can lose 1,000 milligrams of sodium in an hour's workout, in an intense hour's workout? So that's pretty significant. That's why sometimes in the summer you actually are craving some saltier foods. So don't forget your sodium limits if you're not working out. An easy way to do it would be to just take your weight. So, well, here you guys all know I'm 120 pounds, and I'm just gonna add a 0 to it. So that means if I wasn't working out as much as I do, my sodium intake should be about 1,200. Most North Americans far, far exceed this, and that's why we have one of the issues that we do with heart disease. We're going to bake our kale chips at a low temperature. I like to use 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Some people use 350. I'd rather take a few extra minutes because it's really only about a 15-20 minute process for them to bake anyways. And I'm going to give you a tip that I learned the hard way. If you have a convection oven, which has the fan on the inside, don't use it for kale chips because they're very light. You're going to open the oven at the end and find your kale chips are all over your oven. I'm saving you that one. If you have a convection oven, just turn it to your regular setting. Don't use the convection. If you've seen my other videos, you know I'm a lover of using parchment paper. Saves me having to wash another pan after. So you're just going to place your kale chips on your parchment paper, being careful that they don't overlap. So you may need to use 2 or 3 baking sheets. If it is touching another kale chip, like overlapping it, you'll find it doesn't get nice and crispy. And you want them to get nice and crispy. That's the whole point. Replacing when you have a craving for something crunchy and salty, that this is your replacement replacement. You could honestly eat your whole batch. It's a whole head of kale and not feel guilty about it at all, because it's a lot of nutrients with just a couple tablespoons of good for you olive oil. Everything in this is amazing for you. The omega-3s from the olive oil. Kale is rich in iron, rich in B vitamins, lots of good stuff for us. All right, that was easy, that was fast. Kale chips are out of the oven. So now you know you can enjoy your cravings, satisfy your cravings, but still have it in a healthier way. Please check out my website, fitkitchendiva.com, for lots of more great ideas on how to eat healthy, but still enjoy your food. Thanks, and don't forget to subscribe.